Does it really matter if someone doesn't speak several languages, even in a globalized world? Most people don't have English as their native language, so for us, speaking at least one foreign language, English is absolutely a necessity. If you're already a native English speaker, you don't really need a second one. You can learn one if you want, but there aren't many opportunities out there you can't get with English. It really depends on where you live and what do you want to do for a job. If you live in a country that has English as the native language and do not plan to work in any international capacity, you are fine. Since English is a global language, you may get away with not speaking another language. If you are in a country with a different native language and do not plan to travel outside of your country or work in any international company, you are fine as well. If you want to travel, at least English is a huge advantage, or whatever other global language is used in countries you are interested in. Example, if you live in the US, learning Spanish would be a big advantage. If you live in Slovakia or Czech Republic, German is a big advantage because of the borders with Austria and Germany. A lot of companies have sites in Slovakia or Czech Republic, and speaking German is required for some positions. To summarize, it matters depending on your life and what do you want. English should be fine. It also depends on what region you are in the most. Just English is fine, really. But it's pretty good to know multiple. It really depends on where you live. There are plenty of countries where just English is enough, or where speakers of languages like French, Spanish, or Mandarin are just fine. But yeah, to work internationally, relocate, or just be able to fully appreciate other cultures, learning the language is pretty necessary. If you move to another country, yes, absolutely, you need to learn that language. Not everyone speaks English nor want to have to speak it for your benefit. English is necessary, all the other languages are just more or less useful. I say this as someone born and living in a non-English country. The great thing about other people knowing multiple languages is English is usually one of them. If you want to learn a language, that's cool. If you don't, that's fine too. English local is fine anywhere in the West. Learn it now while your brain is you and neuroplastic. It matters. From someone who is doing it with multiple languages, it's how one optimizes the life outside of the Anglosphere. I am Japanese and now I am very happy that I got an English tutor as a child. At the time, I didn't really like to do it, but because my English is at decent level, I got an opportunity to work abroad in EU. And learning the local language was much easier because I knew English as well. It depends on whether or not you plan to travel. IMO. The invention of instantaneously translating AI earbuds or apps have even made that debatable these days. However, I do find that you tend to get more respect from foreign place people when you show that you have made an effort to try to learn their language. So the choice is yours! It depends on the language and mindset. Let's say you are Dutch, don't speak any other language, and you demand everyone speaking Dutch to you. Yeah, you won't come far. But if you speak a bit of English or the language of the country you go to, as you went full Duolingo mode and are respectful of the people there, it's all fine that you speak only one language fluently. Also, yes, English is handy, as it did become our travel language, but if you still carry the mindset of shape to me is instead of in Rome, I do as the Romans do, you still will have a horrible time with no one wanting to help you, as you didn't even try to say hi or thank you in their language. Yes, that's a big deal. It constitutes obstruction of globalization and thus poses a threat to national security, thus it is subject to up to 5 years imprisonment. I wish I knew a second language. I have tried, but my brain just doesn't work that way. It can also be really handy for some jobs. At my work, because it is international, when you are fluent in another language you will get paid more when it's needed. Speaking English very well and understanding other people speaking English from a variety of backgrounds is incredibly valuable. I never had to learn another language even though I've worked for several companies globally based in non-English speaking countries, because they understand me and I understand them. I wish I knew a bunch of languages, but I wasn't great at it, nor did I enjoy it in school, and as an American I didn't start trying until I was a teenager, whereas Europeans learn a second language much earlier, making it an easier process. Understanding lots of accents is tricky. It really takes experience in working with different cultures, consuming different types of media, understanding cultural nuances, etc. That takes time. But if you get really good at it, life gets much easier traveling around the world. The whole concept of different languages is rapidly evaporating due to AI enabling instant translations between virtually any language. Humanity will eventually converge on a language that combines and borrows the most useful concepts and definitions from other languages. The global language in the lead for this is currently known as English, but who knows what it will be called in the future. With translating apps these days, I don't think there's a need to feel pressured unless you move and settle in a country that speaks a language you don't speak. For holidays and low-stakes business transactions, translating apps are readily available to help. You can do most things speaking just one language, but speaking several will definitely help you.